Hi, DelusionDispeller back again. The heat came on, so I'm not quite as cold as I was. So I'm sitting in my tank top, just relaxing, chilling. The next thing you can do for somebody that is an adult victim of childhood abuse is have them evaluated. Take them to a counselor, therapist. Pardon me. Have them tested. They may need medication. Sometimes when you're traumatized, often when you're traumatized, your brain chemistry changes. So you may overreact to things that aren't that big of a deal. You may underreact to things that you should be acting on. Medicine can help with that, even if it's just temporarily getting on something to kind of balance those reactions and those feelings. It's a good idea. But a therapist would need to do that. If nothing else, talk therapy often helps. Just talking to the therapist about what happened and working through those emotions and those perceptions of what went on. Finding new ways to cope, learning new coping skills and new life skills is helpful. Support groups are a great idea. Now, I am, but I'm not a big fan of 12-step groups. I think there is redeeming quality for some people. I think it's very easy to go from one addiction to another. If you're like an alcoholic and you join a 12-step group, that's great, but then you might use the 12-step group as your next addiction if you haven't dealt with the addictive part of your personality. So 12-step groups are great in some cases. Any type of support group your loved one can go to where other people have been abused, they understand, they can share their stories, is a great idea. A church group would be good, a book club, whatever group your loved one will find some comfort in and some outlet for what's happened to them. And of course the book group would need to be something focused on trauma, obviously, and overcoming it. Okay, we're going to take a little bit of a veer off course a bit. Why me? Your feelings as the partner. Let's talk about that a little bit. First of all, you might be asking, how did I end up with this person? And why me? Why did they decide to gravitate towards me? And why did I feel so drawn to them? There's many reasons why you might have. First of all, abuse victims, because of the fact that they never knew what was going to happen next. They didn't know what mood mommy or daddy or caretaker was going to be in. So they always had to be aware. They had this hyper awareness. They also pretty much had to take care of their own basic needs while they were being exploited on the side. So they've grown up really fast. There's a maturity in an abuse victim that may not be there as much in somebody that was not abused. So you may have been drawn to his or her maturity. You wanted somebody for a partner that was mature and wasn't a big baby about things and not so insecure. Maybe you've dealt with insecure people in the past and it was no fun for you. You always had to reassure them. This person seems so self-assured. So you're drawn to self-assurance. This person also had to take care of themselves. So they're self-sufficient. They can sometimes cook, clean, pay the bills. They're very balanced in the sense of they have a to-do list and they accomplish it because they've learned that in order to get by in life, they have to do these things. They're very adaptive. They didn't know what was happening next, so they would just go with the flow, roll with the punches, so to speak. No pun intended on that. But, in fact, that's a really bad term, roll with the punches. I wonder if that came from an abuser. Anyway, sorry I even said that, but they learned to basically be, adaptive. They learned that whatever happened, they could get through it, and they found ways to be resourceful and get through it. So you like that maybe about the person, that no matter what happens, they can deal with it, not freak out over it. They may be flexible. Again, kind of like adaptive. No matter what happens, they can bounce through it. If something changes, they're cool with that. They can go with it. It doesn't shake them. They're great bodyguards, great protectors a lot of times. They've had to be on guard for their own lives and maybe even siblings and other people dear to them. So they may be very protective, and you might be looking for that guy that can be your bodyguard, that person that, has got your back. They're usually pretty kind because they've been hurt, so they don't want to hurt others. And I'm talking about the ones that were severely injured and are more timid and more keep to themselves. They tend to be very respectful and kind because they were hurt, and they're like, well, I'm never going to do that to another person. I know how bad that feels. If you're looking for a kind person, that might be why you were led